You cannot stop thinking about them. Every morning they arrive in your consciousness before you have fully opened your eyes. Every night they are the last presence haunting the edges of your awareness before sleep claims you. This is not love. This is not longing in its pure form. This is something far more ancient and far more dangerous. You are caught in a psychic entanglement that Jung himself would recognize as one of the most profound mysteries of human connection. Hi, I'm Roman, your guide into the depths of the psyche. And today we are analyzing something that might seem weird at first, but will make absolute sense to you at the end of this video. When someone occupies your mind with this kind of relentless intensity, when their absence becomes more present than most people's physical proximity, you are not simply missing them. You are carrying something they cannot carry themselves. You are hosting an exile they refuse to acknowledge. And until you understand what is actually occurring in the invisible architecture between two nervous systems, you will remain imprisoned in an obsession that serves neither your healing nor theirs. Let me tell you what is really happening. The avoidant person who dominates your thoughts is not simply living their life in peaceful separation from you. They are not moving through their days with the clarity and calm their silence suggests. While you spiral in rumination, while you replay conversations and search for hidden meanings in their absence, they are experiencing something most people never name, because to name it would require feeling it, and feeling it would shatter the entire defensive structure they have built their identity upon. There are 5 realities unfolding in their inner world right now. 5 truths that your obsession is actually revealing. Not about your weakness or your inability to let go, but about the profound psychological crisis they are living through while appearing to function normally. Your preoccupation is not pathology, it is perception. You are sensing through the invisible threads that connect all psyches what they have severed from their own awareness. And this is where we must begin. In the strange and terrifying territory where one person's refusal to feel becomes another person's consuming burden. Thank you for being more and more to join me in this descent. If you haven't yet, like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much. Now let's dive into the 5 realities unfolding in the avoidant psyche. And this might really challenge the way you think about this relationship. The first reality is this: they are experiencing what I call phantom limb syndrome of the soul. You know the phenomenon where someone loses a physical limb, yet continues to feel pain, sensation, movement in the space where that limb once existed. The nerves fire. The brain insists the arm or leg is still there. The body has not caught up to the reality of amputation. This is precisely what occurs in the avoidant psyche when they sever emotional connection. They perform a kind of psychic surgery on themselves, cutting away the relational bond with the same desperate efficiency a trapped animal chews off its own leg to escape a snare. But the wound remains active. The phantom connection continues to pulse with life even as they insist to themselves and to you that nothing remains. They feel you. They sense your presence in their energetic field. But they have trained themselves so thoroughly to ignore their own inner experience that this feeling registers only as a vague disturbance, an irritation they cannot name, a restlessness that drives them further into distraction and avoidance. You think about them constantly because the psychic wound is still open and transmitting. They have amputated the relationship, but the soul does not recognize amputation. It only knows severance. And severance screams. The second reality, operating beneath their silence, is even more devastating. Their inner exile has become a prison they now defend with the ferocity of a guard protecting a maximum security facility. Somewhere early in their development, they learned that their authentic emotional self was not welcome. Perhaps a parent recoiled from their tears. Perhaps vulnerability was met with mockery or abandonment, or a coldness so profound it taught them that to feel openly was to risk annihilation. So they did what any intelligent organism does when faced with existential threat. They locked away the parts of themselves that provoke danger. The tender self, the needing self, the self that longed for closeness and recognition was exiled into an internal dungeon. And here is the terrible paradox. That exiled self did not die. It did not fade into nothing. It remained alive in the depths, pounding on the walls, screaming to be released. But by now, the avoidant has spent so many years, perhaps decades, defending this prison that they have forgotten they are both the guard and the prisoner. Your desire for connection, your consistent presence, your refusal to disappear threatens the entire structure. You are not trying to love them. You are trying to stage a prison break, and they will fight you with everything they have, because to release what they have locked away feels like it would destroy them. The shadow self they have imprisoned is screaming through your preoccupation with them. You feel what they refuse to feel. You carry the longing they have criminalized within themselves. This brings us to the third reality, and it is here that the energetic dimension of this entanglement becomes impossible to ignore. They are drowning in unfelt feelings that leak into your psyche like radiation from a cracked container. Emotions do not disappear simply because someone refuses to acknowledge them. Grief does not evaporate. Terror does not dissolve. Longing does not cease to exist because it has been denied. These energies must go somewhere. And in the strange physics of human connection, especially between an empath and an avoidant, what one person refuses to metabolize often finds a host in another nervous system. You are not imagining the weight you feel. You are not manufacturing the obsession through your own neurosis alone. You are experiencing emotional osmosis. Their unexpressed grief is seeping into your awareness. Their unacknowledged terror of intimacy is creating anxiety in your body. Their disowned longing for connection is manifesting as your inability to stop thinking about them. This is not mysticism. This is the reality of two human beings whose energetic fields have become entangled, where the boundaries between self and other have become dangerously porous. You carry what they refuse to feel. And until you understand this, you will keep trying to resolve in yourself what can only be resolved in them. You will keep searching your own psyche for the reason you cannot let go, never realizing that what you are holding is not entirely yours to release. The fourth reality is perhaps the most maddening because it reveals the double bind at the heart of avoidant attachment. They are simultaneously terrified of and addicted to your presence. This is not contradiction. This is the signature of ambivalent attachment, the unresolved mother wound or father wound that has never been metabolized into conscious awareness. Part of them craves exactly what you offer: consistency, presence, the possibility of being seen and held without condition. But another part, the part that learned early that closeness equals danger, recoils in terror the moment you come too close. So they push and pull, they reach and retreat. They open a door just wide enough to keep you hoping, then slam it shut the moment you step forward. Your constancy, your refusal to abandon them the way they fear, threatens the entire defensive structure they have built their identity upon. If you stay, if you keep showing up, if you prove that love does not always end in betrayal or abandonment, then they must confront the possibility that everything they believed about connection was a lie. And that confrontation feels like death itself. Which brings us to the fifth and most disturbing reality. They are living out an unconscious death drive that Freud called Thanatos, the force that moves toward destruction, dissolution, the return to an inorganic state. While Eros pushes toward life, connection, growth, creation, Thanatos pulls toward ending, severing, the peace of non-being. In the avoidant psyche, self-sabotage becomes the only form of control they believe they possess. When someone sabotages the very thing they claim to want, when they destroy connection at the moment it becomes real, they are not being cruel. They are being loyal. Loyal to an ancient pact made in childhood when the psyche, overwhelmed by early wounding, made a terrible bargain. It whispered to itself in the dark, "If I never fully arrive, I can never be fully abandoned. If I destroy it first, I cannot be destroyed by it." This is the death drive wearing the mask of self-protection. It is the part of them that would rather end everything on their terms than risk the annihilation of being left again. If you have lived with an avoidant, or if you are an avoidant yourself, I really want to put a strong emphasis on this. This is a safe space for you. Both. This is a place not for judgment, but for understanding. And as hard as it can be sometimes, I really believe, like Carl Jung, that this framework is the only on that can lead to the awakening. If you are a sensitive person, an empath, I'm creating this collaborative project, the complete guide to the empath's awakening. If you want to participate, link is in the description. But back to the avoidant reality. You must understand something crucial here. Their retreat, their coldness, their vanishing act, it is both suicide and resurrection attempt. They are killing the version of themselves that dared to hope, to need, to reach toward you. And in that killing, they believe they are saving themselves. The avoidant has confused death with safety so thoroughly that they experience your love, your consistency, your presence as the actual threat. You are not the danger because you will leave. You are the danger because you might stay. And if you stay, they will have to feel everything they have spent a lifetime refusing to metabolize. But here is where the story turns. Here is where we stop diagnosing them and start addressing the real crisis, which is not their avoidance. It is your obsession. Because while you have been focused on what is happening to them, something far more significant has been happening to you. You have been bleeding life force into a void. You have been trying to fill a hole in another person's psyche while your own soul has been screaming for attention. Every moment you spend thinking about them, analyzing them, hoping they will change, you are participating in the same abandonment pattern they learned in childhood. You are abandoning yourself. The alchemical reversal begins not with understanding them better, but with withdrawing your psychic energy completely. This is not the same as detachment. Detachment is a numbing, a shutting down, a protective coldness. What I'm speaking of is something far more powerful. It is conscious, energetic severance. It is the deliberate act of calling your soul back from the territory where it has been wandering, lost, trying to save someone who has not asked to be saved. You must see this clearly. Every time you replay a conversation, every time you wonder what they are feeling, every time you check if they have reached out, you are feeding their fragmentation with your own life force. You are giving them the very energy they need to continue avoiding themselves. Does this match a pattern you know? I always ask the same question to my subscribers. This is a muscle you need to train. Because putting words on what you feel intuitively is the mental workout that leads to awakening. Tell me your story in the comments and try to make this work. You will probably discover something new about yourself. At least I did doing this work. The withdrawal of your energy is not an act of cruelty. It is an act of mercy for both of you. Because as long as you are obsessing over them, they never have to face the emptiness you are trying to fill. Your pursuit allows them to keep running. Your constancy enables their inconsistency. Your willingness to carry their unfelt feelings means they never have to develop the capacity to feel them. You've become the container for their disowned self, and in doing so, you have disowned parts of yourself. Which brings us to the second turning, the most dangerous and necessary work you will ever do. Meeting your own avoidant shadow. You have been so focused on their coldness, their withdrawal, their inability to show up, that you have not looked at the parts of yourself that are exactly the same, because you have them. Every human being carries both the anxious and the avoidant within their psyche. You have your own capacity for coldness. You have your own moments of withdrawal. You have your own ways of protecting yourself by disappearing emotionally, even when you are physically present. But you have exiled these parts. You have banished them to the shadow because they do not fit the story you tell yourself about who you are. You are the one who stays. You are the one who loves hard. You are the one who never gives up. And they are the cold one, the distant one, the broken one. This is a lie, and it is a lie that keeps you trapped. Your obsession with the avoidant in your life is actually your disowned self demanding recognition. The parts of you that want to run, that want to shut down, that want to say, I do not need anyone, these parts are screaming through your preoccupation with them. You are projecting onto them the very qualities you refuse to integrate within yourself. And until you meet those parts, until you sit with your own capacity for withdrawal and self-protection, you will continue to magnetize avoidant people into your life. You will continue to be haunted by those who cannot stay. The integration work requires brutal honesty. You must ask yourself, where do I abandon myself? Where do I withdraw my presence from my own life? Where do I refuse to feel what is actually happening in my body, in my heart, in my deepest knowing? Because I promise you, the ways they abandon you are mirrors of the ways you abandon yourself. The coldness you experience from them reflects the coldness you show toward your own needs. Their inconsistency mirrors your inconsistency with your own boundaries, your own values, your own non-negotiables. You have been so busy trying to get them to see you that you have stopped seeing yourself. This is the gift hidden in the abandonment pattern. This person, this avoidant who has caused you so much pain, they are not your enemy. They are your psychopomp, your guide to the underworld of your own psyche. They have led you, perhaps dragged you, to the edge of your own unexamined wounds. They have shown you through their absence what you have been avoiding in yourself. Presence. Full-bodied, unapologetic, consistent presence. Not just with others, but with yourself. Their retreat is teaching you about the places where you have retreated from your own life. Their inability to commit is showing you where you have been uncommitted to your own growth, your own healing, your own emergence. This is the initiatory nature of this wound. You were not meant to fix them. You were meant to find yourself. You were not meant to save them from their patterns. You were meant to be saved from your own. And the salvation comes not through their return, not through their sudden awakening, not through them finally choosing you. It comes through you choosing yourself with such ferocity, such completeness, such unwavering commitment that their absence becomes irrelevant. Not because you have numbed yourself to the pain, but because you have integrated it. You have alchemized it. You have turned the lead of abandonment into the gold of self-possession. And here's the paradox that will either liberate you or destroy you, depending on how you meet it. Only when you fully let them go, not with bitterness, not with resentment, not with the secret hope that your letting go will make them come back, but with genuine release, only then do you become capable of the love you once offered prematurely. Because the love you were offering them was not whole. It was wounded love. It was love seeking validation. It was love trying to prove that you are worth staying for. And that kind of love, no matter how intense, no matter how devoted, will always repel the avoidant. Because they can smell the need underneath it. They can sense that you are trying to fill something in yourself through them, and that terrifies them because they know they cannot fill it. No one can.